Why this topic? I picked High Performance Work System first because of the Good Job Strategy. The Good Job Strategy is written by Zeynep Ton. It was an eye-opener book for me. The Good Job Strategy is very similar to the High Performance Work System. It is all about investing in your employees and investing in your company. Second, I am interested in how the company does with a high performance work system, how it affects the company, how the company will benefit from a high performance work system. So, what is a high performance work system? Per the textbook, it is the right type of people and technology and organizational structure to use their resources fully and positively to obtain the organization's goal. Each element must work well with each other. And I'm a visual person, so this is how I see it. It's like everybody and every part is a clock. Each part, the cord, the screws, the gears, it's all important. And they're working together. I believe that in high performance work system, it's important to have open-mindedness for each other, communication to each department, and equality with what everybody should be able to voice their opinion and voice what they say. The articles that we'll be looking at today are from the Wall Street Journal and Forbes. In each article, I will be looking at what the different point of view is in that article, the pros and cons to each article's viewpoint towards high performance work system, and at the end I will discuss which article I agree with more. Now going to Article 1. The title of the article is The Relationship Between Corporate Culture and Performance. Researchers find that a positive culture boosts performance, but performance alone doesn't create a positive culture. This is from the Wall Street Journal. This article discusses corporate culture and the performance, how they can relate, and how a positive culture can indeed boost their performance. Their study was based on a car dealership, actually 95 different car dealerships. What they came to find was that the companies that based their culture as their value increased their performance, and companies that didn't necessarily care about culture, but their value was all about performance and sales, ended up having decent performances but had unhappy employees, which ended up they would become less profitable. This article pertains to the high performance work system because it's a part of the core of high performance work system. It's about culture. Also, job design. When you create a job that people like and are interested in, they are wanting to come back to work and they have a more positive experience with work. According to the textbook, job design can want teamwork and employee empowerment. It creates that. 2 of the work conditions associated with high performance: teamwork and employee empowerment, creating a culture that empowers your employees and they work together. I think that that's important in a car dealership. Another thing is that high performance work system is all about investing in your employees. The car companies that use positive culture invested in their employees, and they are more likely to have better employees than the company that's only about profits. The pros and the cons to this article's argument. The pros about this article's argument. Let's start with the pros. It really puts great value to culture and how important it is to have good values for your company. It shows 2 different ways to run a business by having sales oriented or culture oriented. The article even states that having a healthy, positive culture is hard and that it's a tough transition, and it gives an example to why transitions might be difficult but worth the transition later on. I like that the author understood that a positive culture is not something you can create overnight, as well as high performance work system. It takes a transitional period. The cons of this article. The article connects all success to culture alone, and that's not what high performance work system solely is. A high performance work system takes into consideration all aspects of the company, the technology, the environment, the training. It's not just about culture. Let's continue. Article 2. This article is titled How to Build a High Trust Organization and Get Better Results. This article is about how to build a high trust organization, which in my mind is very much connected to high performance work system. This article states that companies have high trust issues do not do well. Companies that have high trust, on the other hand, from their employees, from their business partners, and from the public, tend to do better. It also states how investing in your employees and empowering them to do their best and provide them with the right resources and tools, as well with the right leadership, will benefit the company greatly. Another point is that leadership is everything, and integrity of the leaders must be solid. That the leaders must be trustworthy. Also, the company communicates. That's important. And they communicate the good, they communicate the bad, and they communicate the ugly. The leaders in the company need to know how to communicate the bad and how to work effectively and create a battle plan for a more positive outcome. I believe the high performance trust system and the high performance work system are generally the same. The high performance work system organization structure is the same as the high trust. The way people are grouped is important. It promotes learning, openness, and high quality. By having leaders that know how to manage, train, and create a trust system, they will inevitably create a better organizational structure. I especially like how the good, the bad, and the ugly and the information system are so similar in our book. It talks about how leaders need to know how to communicate this information, and I think that it's interesting that our book and this article talks about how it's important for leaders to communicate everything, even the bad. The pros and cons to this article's argument. They are very similar to the high performance work system and the trust system, if not the same. The article emphasizes truth, trust, and great leadership. The cons. This article did not go into detail about the components of the truth system. With a high performance work system, that is a vital part of it. The conditions of a high performance work system is important component and is clearly stated about how to invest in your employees and how to lead a company and create a positive culture with the trust that this article has talked about. So let's move on. Article 3. This title article is 2 ways to keep your adventurous and power-driven high performers engaged. This is from Forbes. The main point is how to keep a good employee. There are 2 ways to keep a high performance worker. It is to create an enterprising culture and assign difficult goals. Those were their 2 main points. With an enterprising culture, the employees are more engaged. They compare an enterprising culture to a culture where everyone is equal, and the culture with equality was less engaging. Their second point was to give their employees a difficult goal. Power people like a challenge. And by giving difficult goals and setting higher standards, it gives power-driven performers to be recognized, to have rewards, and for the adventurous-driven performers to have excitement in their jobs. And when they reach their goal, they are satisfied. This article looks into high-performance work system by investing and understanding their employees, as well as creating a reward system to keep their employees engaged. In our textbook, it talks about how the right people are vital to a high-performance work system, and this article also is about investing in those people, the right people. Also, our book talks about the reward system and how it contributes to high performance by encouraging people to strive for their objective, and it also supports the organizational goal. And this article is all about creating high goals for those driven power people and those adventurous people. The pros and cons to this article. This article talks about how to invest in the people, and it is similar to the high performance work system in that area. It is a vital part of the system, and it talks about the different kinds of cultures and how entrepreneurship culture can be the best culture for high performers. And it creates a reward system for high performers, which is vital to high performance work system. The cons. The high performers are essential, but personally I believe some people need more investment, and high performers are not necessarily just adventurous or power driven. There are many different kinds of high performer people. For instance, IT person. They're not really a social person per se, or really good with people, but yet they know their stats, they know their data, and they know how to fix things. So they're high performers in IT. Another thing is, a financial person may be an introvert and doesn't want to really talk to people at all, but they like power, so they own what they need to do, and they always try to improve. This article also brought up that equality is not a good thing, and I would say I agree to the most point, but I think that everybody's voice is important, and yes, there needs to be a hierarchy within the company, but everybody should be equally heard. Let's recap on the 3 articles. The first article was about culture, performance, and how they go hand in hand. The second was how to create a high trust organization and how the company would benefit and how the employees would benefit. The third was about high performance employees and how to invest in them. The article I agree with most was Article 2, how to build a high trust organization and get better results. I believe it looks at the company as a whole. It is the most similar to the high performance work system. The other 2 articles, they felt like they put too much emphasis on just one aspect of the system. I think that the trust system looked at their leaders, they looked at their employees, and they looked at the values. I also agree with that the trust organization is an open organization, and that the leaders can build transparency and create good communication. By having high performance work system and using the right people, organizational structure, and technology, they will be able to obtain transparency that they desire. What to take from a high performance work system? There are really 3 main things. Every aspect of the system is important. It takes time to create this. It is not an overnight strategy or system. And it is important for the leaders to lead.